Ladies and gentlemen, the CZ75. Hey everybody, it's me again. I found out this new glitch while I was just doing random things. Apparently the CZ75 is also known as the repair tool. Not. Okay. So today I was gonna just think about making a video about air vehicles, and sorry about that kick. And to show you what I think is the best things to use for air vehicles. So obviously, right here, you have the A-10 Warthog. And honestly, it is one of the deadliest vehicles in Battlefield. And you're like, well, wait a second, what about tanks? Well, this is the only weapon in the game with the fastest firing, high damaging machine gun. And it's not only really good against ground vehicles, but it's terrifying for any aerial vehicle. And now, since you're going to be fighting a lot of air and ground vehicles, I suggest that you equip attachments that you think suit you best. So now we're going to go through the attachments, and I'll go through what I preferably think is the best ones. Now, first off, you notice that I've got the Hydras equipped. Hydra rockets, which I think are one of the best attachments for attack jets, because one, it is very good against air vehicles such as attack jets, other jets like the stealth jet, attack helicopters, or any other helicopter. It can also be very good for ground vehicles like jeeps, tanks, LAVs, and boats. So I'm just going to show you why the Hydras can be so damn effective. See, now if there was a person in there, most likely they'd either be very wounded or their vehicle is disabled. Now if I go around for another run, different story. And now I'm going to talk to you about the laser guided rockets. Laser guided rockets. Very, very good weapons for starting off using attack jets. Now, the downside is that attack jets lose the capability of having a secondary weapon that can fire on air vehicles unless, say, a recon has SOFLAM or anything that's above a hovering target that is an air vehicle. So, you have very good pro-ground capabilities, but very terrible air capabilities. And now let's move on to the next one that I think is really good. And that is the JDAM. Now, most people, they probably do not have the JDAM, since getting a lot of vehicles with attack jets seems really hard now these days. But once you get it, it is very powerful, but you have to be precise with it. It's a very precision weapon that requires a lot of training to do. But, again, another downside, pro against any ground vehicles, but you lose a lot of anti-air capabilities. And now let's go on to my least favorites. Heat Seekers. Now, Heat Seekers are not really great against air vehicles because your jet is moving in so fast and you can do more damage with your rapid fire minigun than you could probably do with, then, say, a Heat Seeker, because Heat Seekers do around 20 to 30 damage each rocket. It's good for air, but it limits a bunch of your ground attack capabilities. And now let's talk about the TV guided missiles and why I don't like them. So recently, TV guided missiles have been gained a big nerf. And by the nerf, I mean an increased reload time and a new glitch. And you're like, a new glitch? Well, what's the new glitch? Does that have something to do with netcode? It has nothing to do with netcode. But the glitch is that once you fire your TV missile and it hits an object, it can sometimes cause a glitch. I don't know what the cause of it is, but it somehow damages your vehicle, and it brings it down to very low health, as say a machine gun from, like a minigun from an attack boat could destroy you, or a machine gun from any vehicle in general could just kill you. But anyways, that's all I have to say about the attack jet. Now let's move on to the stealth jet. Stealth jet, very great against dogfighting, not great against anti-vehicles. Such as right here. Nope. But we'll watch this. And one of the more capabilities that an attack jet does not have, or that has over a stealth jet, is that it shoots 2 machine guns rather than just 1. But the downside is attack jets are a lot more sluggish than, say, stealth jets. See, stealth jets can move with very good ease around the map. They can destroy any air vehicle, whether transport helicopter, you know, AC-130, to even other attack jets, believe it or not. But this is, again, mostly a dogfighting vehicle, so I'm only going to be going mostly over attachments that are good for dogfighting, such as heat seekers, passive radar missiles, and active radar missiles. Now, let's talk about machine guns. 20mm chain gun. Probably one of the best for dogfighting when beginning, because you can basically shoot in front of the enemy and just basically destroy them before they even have a chance. I don't like it personally, but it does get the job done. It just lacks decent stopping power to put down, say, an aerial threat that is a good pilot. And now I'm gonna talk about the more preferable ones, the 25mm cannon. 25mm cannon shoots slightly slower, but does more damage per shot. Or per burst, to say. And the downside is that slow rate of fire, but makes up with damage. And again, most of the machine guns for the stealth jets, they usually have the same burst length. So now I'm going to talk about the 30mm cannons. 30mm cannons. They are cannons that shoot very, very slow, but do damage that is up the wazoo. Now, the downside about this is that you need precision, precision, precision. And I'm going to show this to you right here. And I'm going to bring out some of the laser-guided rockets. Now, 30mm cannon. More damage against all vehicles, but very slow rate of fire. Compared to, say, an attack jet's 30mm, this is nothing. And now, this is one of my least favorites, but it's great against single-handed dogfights, but not in matches like air superiority. Now, I'm going to talk about missiles. Laser-guided missiles. The first missiles that you get on attack jets, like I say, very good against ground. This is really where stealth jets and attack jets meet halfway, because they can destroy ground vehicles, but at the same time they still have the machine guns to take care of any aerial threats. Touché. And now, like I said again, if a recon has a SOFLAM, you could lock on with laser guideds on any aerial vehicle and make your laser guided rockets do even more damage. And now I'm going to talk about Heat Seekers. Heat Seekers. Just your average plain Heat Seekers from Battlefield 3. And not great when you first get them. Passive radars don't really help them out a lot. I mean, they do average damage. They do about 20 or so damage to vehicles that are aerial, unless it's a MAV or a SWAV. But passive radar missiles are a little different. They have the same little technique, but you can do a lot more with passive radars. You could shoot your passive radar missile at, say, a locked-on target. You can re-dislock and then re-lock on. Then you'll do 40 damage, technically, if you get both the missiles to hit the jet. Now, this has advantages and disadvantages. He could pull away from the dogfight and kill himself, or you could lose the dogfight and get behind him. Now, all of these are variables that can or cannot happen. Alright, now I think that's enough time in the attack jet, or the stealth jet. Now I'm gonna just briefly go over attack choppers. Attack choppers, you know, got really buffed very badly since Battlefield 3. For example, instead of having infinite rockets now in your rocket pods, you have limited amounts to use, and they're more heavier now and less maneuverable, so that is a very big downside as well. Another is that they're very prone to getting taken out by anything. We're talking AC-130s, tanks, you know, other attack helicopters even, and even transport choppers. Yeah, that's a surprise, isn't it? Anyways, attachments that I like to use are Zuni rockets or Hydra rockets. I try to leave the smart rockets away because you have 4 less rockets than Hydras, and if you're accurate with Hydras, you could do more damage with Hydras than you could with, say, smart rockets. But again, all personal preferences here. If you say really, really love using smart rockets, you know, go ahead. For secondary weapons, I like using Heat Seekers. I'm just showing off the tow missiles here. But you would only use tow missiles if, say, you're on a map like, let's just say Rogue Transmission, where there's only one helicopter and you're not facing any other real dangerous air threats except for, say, an attack jet. Tow missiles are really nice, but yet again, you really need to control your accuracy. Because if you miss it, it's gonna hurt you even more than what you're doing to the object you're shooting at. And even there, I missed one rocket. Who knows, maybe a guy could have brought out a Stinger or an Eagle and shot me down. But other than that, attack chopper right there for you. Just let me take out this tank real quick. Now, I'm going to just talk briefly about the Scout helicopter, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Scout helicopter. Very versatile and got very better upgrades than Battlefield 3's. Remember how you had that annoying huge crosshair that you didn't know which one was which? Well, now you've got this tiny little reticule that moves around that has a decent crosshair to shoot. And now you actually know where your bullets are flying to. Now, personally, I like running the 7.62 miniguns because they're really good at suppressing infantry and destroying light armored vehicles such as jets, helicopters, and transport vehicles. Now, on the other side, 25mm cannons are good for neutralizing infantry and armored threats, but the drawback is that the cannons shoot very rapidly, and it's hard to control when to conserve on ammo, because let's put it this way. If you had enough ammo in the miniguns to neutralize a whole squad, why would you need to have 25mm cannons? It makes no sense. And secondaries. I always go with heat seekers. Very rarely will I go to laser guided rockets. Just because the scout helicopter is a very, I guess I can say Sentinel. It's very Sentinel over what it picks, such as attack helicopters. And it can adjust to any environment in reality. Because the miniguns are good at vehicle pickups, and the heat seekers can pick up targets that are hard to hit. And I always go with air radar on any of these vehicles, such as attack helicopters and attack jets. So that's all for I'm gonna do for this episode, guys. I'm gonna be posting FIFA tonight as well, so stay tuned. So adios, amigos.